XAT gives you time limits for each section. XAT, it's a little more unpredictable, but you get more time to cope up with that unpredictability because you can switch between sections whenever you want. So during my preparation journey, I had just been like I was at my highest weight when I started my preparation. And I was very happy in the 4 months that my mock scores were improving, my weight was going down, and I'd lost 14 kgs in like 4 months. Hi, I'm Arihant. I'm from Calcutta. I scored a 99.61 percentile in my CAT 23 attempt and a 99.72 in my XAT 24 attempt. I worked for 2 years in the founder's office role, and I wanted to do an MBA because I thought that an MBA gives me holistic experience. It helps me meet with people that I normally wouldn't meet and wouldn't be able to interact with and have such amazing discussions. For that, the biggest weakness that I have was sitting for 3 hours. I thought that I couldn't sit for 3 hours in an exam center, and that is what I practiced for in the first 7-8 days, wherein I gave past year papers and tried to understand the pattern and sit for 3 hours. Initially, it was difficult because CAT is a 2-hour paper and XAT is a 3-hour paper. So to get into that tone, it took me some time, but eventually I got there. Now coming to the 3 sections, we have VRC, quants, and decision making. Decision making I thought was my weakest section, because I couldn't find a pattern. I'm a person who likes to find pattern recognition. I couldn't find any pattern in decision making which could help me answer questions, at least initially. Then I started writing down points as to some of the rules that I could follow in decision making, and that is how my scores eventually started to improve. During my first mock, I had attempted around 40 questions, and I'd gotten around 22 to 23 of them right, and my percentile was 91-92 percentile. During the final mock which I gave, which was 5-6 days before my actual exam, I was attempting around 45 to 50 questions, and I was getting around 40 to 42 of them correct. This was mainly because of the decision making increment that I had gotten because of the rule. CAT gives you time limits for each section, and I was more comfortable with it because I knew what to do in every section. XAT, it's a little more unpredictable, but you get more time to cope up with that unpredictability because you can switch between sections whenever you want. XAT has more time. It gives you 3 hours, 10 minutes, whereas CAT only gives you 2 hours. The similarities, I think the preparation for both of them is very similar, barring the LRDI section of CAT. Decision making is more on how you understand real world and how you respond to the real world situations. Where the VRC and the quant section is concerned, I thought that the XAT was a little more dense than CAT. Having said that, my preparation strategy had not differed significantly for both these exams. During my journey, I had given 4 to 5 past year papers and 4 to 5 mocks. During the past year papers, when I was giving the initial, I got around 90 percentile to 91 percentile. And by the time I had given the final mock, I was scoring around 98 to 99 percentile with a decent score. So during my preparation journey, I had just been like I was at my highest weight when I started my preparation. Weight loss was one driver and the other was CAT preparation. Both of them went simultaneously. And I was very happy in the 4 months that my mock scores were improving, my weight was going down, and I'd lost 14 kgs in like 4 months. And whereas I was significantly doing better in my CAT preparation, putting in more hours, being more sincere. And this actually, like, deriving motivation from something else other than CAT actually helped me. And I think that is a great strategy for any aspirant. Focus on things that actually excite you or something other than CAT preparation, and derive your dopamine from there, rather than attaching yourself too much from CAT preparation, because I know that mock scores can be stagnating. It actually goes down sometimes and you attach too much of your self-worth to that. During my XAT, since we were given so much time, I was constantly switching between sections. And after the 2-hour mark, I was like, I've attempted so less questions because I was switching between sections that I need to just focus on one section now and drill down. And that is when I attempted the decision making section and scored a very high percentile in the decision making section. For my VAT preparation, I had gotten calls from XLRI, IIM Kozhikode, SP Jain, MDI, and IIM Shillong. I had specifically prepared a few questions for each of these institutions. There was obviously a general component to it, which was my behavioral questions, my profile, which I had prepared very thoroughly. I had gotten it vetted from at least 10 seniors before I actually went in to give my interviews. Now coming to the individual institutions. So for XLRI, they had given us an SOP of 5 questions. I was very thorough with what I had written on my SOP. I knew each and every word. So that apart from that, I also XLRI was the oldest B school, and so I had read a few facts about XLRI and about the culture at XLRI. For IMK specifically, I knew that this was going to be a finance-heavy sort of a interview. So and I have a CA background. I prepared a lot on finance concepts. I started going back to my syllabus in my CA intermediate and started reading more about it. Also, I read up a lot about IIM Kozhikode and their culture, and it is and their globalization of education, and I think that was the theme of my interview as well. For SP Jain specifically, they have a group interview setting, and they ask you dilemma questions as well as questions which are more BQ, more behavioral questions like tell me your greatest achievements or things like that. So I had prepared for SP Jain in that manner. Also, they have given you a set of dilemma questions that you need to prepare for, and those are the ones which I was a little thorough with. But also it also depends on who is taking your interview. XLRI is obviously the oldest premier B school in India, so I think that they have a great alumni network which you can leverage whenever you want to. Second is, I think the XLRI has a cultural as well as an academic history which they have been able to portray in front of the world, and I actually relate to it. I think they give you a holistic development because of that, so that is why I chose XL over here.